know how to train yourself to say no to things that you desire. It's self-discipline. Fasting in Ramadan is self-discipline. I don't know how to enjoy food. I don't know how to stop thinking about it. Just like, we respect and love religions, Jewish religion, Christianity, Muslims, it's all religions, all beautiful. People with religion, if they stick with it, they try to be disciplined and be a good part of society. And every religion has given us scientists and stars and good people out there that came from every culture, the Jewish culture and every culture, giving us a lot. The problem today is that I'm going to break my fast right now with my parents, and today is the first day of Ramadan, and I don't know how we can enjoy food. And there are 2 billion Muslims around the world. Let's say half of them are fasting, or less than a billion is fasting. But kids in Gaza, parents in Gaza, are sitting holding their kids today, trying to calm them down. We've seen all these videos, trying to calm them down and hoping they're not the next house to be bombed. They're not the next house to die. And we're here waiting for the sunset. Fasting is from sunrise to sunset. It's a way to discipline yourself, to feel with poor people. But more than that, there's a lot more to it. It's self-discipline. You learn how to, we're not eating. First, you cleanse in your body. It's also healthy. I'm not a doctor, but I'm sure there's some. You can look up some health to fast. Fasting from sunrise to sunset is just basically a timeline, just so you know before you had a watch, a clock in the desert, how to fast. And it's a time where you try to be pure, you try to connect with poor, you try to feel with them, but also not for the poor, because you're not giving the poor much. You're actually disciplining yourself. It's self-discipline where you want to eat, but you cannot eat, and you know how people don't have food. And there's a lot of things that we desire. You desire to do things in moderation, but you might drink, you might smoke, you might, I don't know what you do, but everything that's not in moderation is not a good idea. So when you fast, it's your opportunity to cleanse your body and your mind and get closer to God, or whatever, or just do yoga, or it doesn't matter. It basically serves the same purpose whether you're a religious person or an atheist person. The benefits of fasting, it was done thousands years ago in the religious book. It was done to give you that time where once a year for a whole month you fast from sunrise to sunset. No food, no drink, no sex, nothing, nada, zero, nothing. You get to work, you can go to work, you can do all that. It is a chance for you to connect with God if you're religious, or if you're a chance for you to cleanse your body, a chance for you to feel with the poor, a chance for you to look what you're spending on food, where's your money going, what are you consuming, what are you putting in your body, and give your body a fresh start. And what's more important about it is perseverance. I want to talk about perseverance specifically because perseverance is embedded in the Palestinians' lives. And I'll tell you this from a personal experience. I've had, best friends when I was growing up at a young age, where they were shot, where they were killed. We ran from school. When we went home from school, there's 200-300 of us who go home, and then I was 5-6 years old. That's like kindergarten. Let's say like around 7-8 years old, we will run home, and then the Israeli, the IOF, not IDF, we're talking about the occupation. The IOF soldiers would shoot, not even rubber bullets, sometimes real bullets. So statistically speaking, we have to have a few people here, unalived, and it's part of our life. So perseverance is important, that we always adapt. We always know how to deal with things. When someone dies in our culture, specifically, almost always, because of the occupation, or someone goes to jail, like your dad or your little brother that's 13-year-old goes to jail for 20 years just because they threw rocks or they were accused of throwing rocks. We were taught to not sorrow. We don't know what sorrow is. That's something, because if we keep wasting time being sorrow, we cannot survive on that earth. We cannot survive in that land. We cannot survive under occupation. We cannot send our kids to college. When we cannot build businesses. We can't do anything because we're trapped. Every time you leave your house, you're trapped. You can't import, you can't export, you can't travel. You're humiliated. When I was 5-6 years old, I was tear gassed. When my dad went shopping and I was in the car, I can still smell that tear gas. I felt it. My brother took me out of the car. They had a clash, and then the tear gas was next to my dad's car when my dad was shopping, and it was something I would never forget. My brother, my older brother, he took me out of the car. He helped me, and that's something embedded in my mind. I had a friend, a best friend, at the age of 14. He This is in the West Bank in an area called Jenin. True story, by the way. It can be verified. Whichever way you can verify it. But my friend, this nice guy, you know, the coolest one in the group, and he had a dream. He had a dream that he threw rocks or something, you know, that is against the force that's there to impose apartheid and impose apartheid. Apartheid is institutional segregation and discrimination. It's a system that's designed based on segregation and discrimination, racial or anything else, any type of discrimination. So he had a dream that he did something like that, and he, of course, stupid 14-year-old kid. The 14-year-old kid, my friend, welcome. A 14-year-old kid, my friend, had a dream that he retaliated. He's an oppressed person. He's seen his friends getting killed and beat up just like I did, and he retaliated by having a dream. And then he went back to school, told, you know, some kids got the word out to the special IOF, Israeli Occupation Forces, and he ended up going to jail for 2 years. 2 years. Imagine a 14-year-old. By the way, I'm not saying anything about Israel right here. I'm pro peace. This Bridge the Gap movement is about touching the hearts of the Israelis, making sure the Israelis, the amazing parents with amazing kids, know that we're at an intersection and it's not the right time to make their own choice. They have the best education, the best food, the best everything for their kids, and they cannot teach their kids to hate. They cannot set up a path for them to fail, to have PTSD, go to war, oppress their neighbors, their nurses, kill their other doctors and nurses. I am connecting with the opposition. We're not taking sides, we're including the opposition. So my friend over here, he went to jail for 2 years. And then you might ask a kid at school, 14 years old, how did he go to jail? How did this become a big deal? Well, guess what? There's a system that's implemented for 75 years that we cannot speak to each other. We cannot speak. I could not speak. I could not do this. We cannot speak. We cannot talk amongst each other because there's always someone that's been hired to listen and report, and then people would go to jail over a dream. And you say, how would they do that? Well, guess what? This is a powerful organization. Apartheid is running. It's running by a country, a very strong, powerful country with a lot of knowledge and advanced people, psychologists. It's simple, it's easy. The kid will be crossing the border or going somewhere, they'll stop him, they'll arrest him, they'll take him to jail, and then they'll have a girl seduce him, and then boom, they have a video. Seriously, that's exactly how they do it. This kid doesn't want to be ashamed, shamed. He'll go to my town. He's one of my friends. He doesn't want to be exposed. And again, there's other ways. There's money. There's, you can get someone to do that for you. And then that one person reports, and then people end up getting alive. People go to jail. People. This is a psychology. This is an apartheid. This is something that's been. It's a system. It's a system that I can spend. I'm doing a story of a Palestinian. I'm sharing every video. Every video I'm trying to share tells a story, tells a pain, tells the feeling, tells that we don't know what sorrow is. There's a saying called "Kun zalami," be a man, or for a girl, "Kuni qawiya," be strong. We are, when you've seen the videos in Gaza or in the hospital, when someone lost all their family and they're crying, that's all they say, be a man, or be strong for a girl. That's all we know how to say, because we don't have time to sorrow. We don't have time to be sad. We don't because we have to survive on that earth that God gave us. Olive trees, that is our heritage, our currency, our money. And then settlers from Miami and Brooklyn and other places show up. They don't want to pay rent over there. They come to our indigenous land and take it and kill people unalive. Now they're gonna block me again like TikTok. Unalive people. A dream. That's all what he had. And there's much more. You listen to a lot of stories. I'm trying to create sequences. I'm trying to create sequences for a reason. You might think it's stupid. It starts with, why did I start speaking out? I've been a Palestinian activist all my life. I've been there. I go there 2-3 times a year for the past 10-15 years. I have a sticker on my car called Handala, which is an artist that was Palestinian artist that was assassinated and drew that little cute, logo that's on my car, that I've always had on my car. And I've tried to diversify my business to have offices there to help people and to employ. But all my life I thought I wasn't doing enough, and I wasn't doing enough, and I know I wasn't doing enough. But the problem is this thing called humanity that comes at night, and the voice that you hear, it's not a crazy voice that you hear in the middle of nowhere. No, it's a real voice that we hear on our phones. It's a real voice that you hear on your tangible holding phone. You click play and you hear a kid crying for help, like Hind Rajab, who called called us from her car. She called us from her car. She called us from her car where the bodies of her dead family are around her. You put yourself in this person's life.